Adam the Woo has died. Adam Williams, my great friend, has died at 51 years old. In his blessed sleep, in his blessed bed, in his blessed house at Christmas time, full of color and light to welcome the newborn king, who Adam has met now in his blessed house, full of color and light, in a town they call Celebration, conceived, designed, built by the fine, upstanding people at the Walt Disney Company. And woe is us. We're in big trouble, folks. Oh, why, woe is us, Tom. Adam the who? The woo? Who is that? One of those guys with the cat? Oh, we realize. Adam, he was your friend, and he was a large, Sasquatch-sized man like yourself who went around the world with his camera, just filming things. Oh, there's the Matterhorn in Zermatt, Switzerland. Oh, there's the border at North Korea. Oh, they have new churros near Tomorrowland. Who cares about that? What does Adam the Woo have to do with the price of rice? Well, I'll tell you. Woe is us. We are in big trouble, because reality itself is under attack, my friends. I know you're watching this and you're not sure. Is this one of those AI things? Is this guy one of those plasticine fake actors doing a fake voice on a fake video? No, I am very real. I am here in Orange, California at the Orange Circle, where Adam and I would meet many, many times and have wonderful times together. But woe is us. As I tell you, reality is under attack. They want to separate you from the idea of having your feet on real ground in a real life. And Adam the Woo, my friends, was a 5-star general in the army of the real, the Navy of the genuine, if he had a boat, which I don't think he did. Adam the Woo. I had to cut because at the karate place they had a lot of hip vibe and tunes happening that was loud. Do you ever see the movie Network? Network. There are 2 visionary movies about the future of our screens, our lives, our souls. One is Network, one is A Face in the Crowd. A Face in the Crowd. Andy Griffith, Patricia Neal, Walter Matthau, directed by Elia Kazan. Fabulous, about the rise of television, television's creeping into our psyches, and most importantly into our politics. And Network. A vitally important film. It's the magical sleigh ride of enchantment and wonder. Homework. Watch A Face in the Crowd and watch Network, because that opening little improvised speech I did was loosely and badly based on one of the speeches of the character Howard Beale, played brilliantly by Albert Finney. We're in a lot of trouble, folks, about our images. So watch Network. Now, that wasn't even the introduction to this personal film of mine. This was the introduction. But the problem is, I've been preparing another magical sleigh ride that was going to come out, maybe the next one or the one right after that. It was a magical sleigh ride that had this for the introduction. But now in the loss of Adam, I have to use this introduction for this magical sleigh ride. So don't come to me when I use it again in 5 sleigh rides and say, you already used this for the Adam the Woo. I know. Genius is knowing who to steal from, as Orson Welles tells us, and I know that the best person to steal from is me. In 1985, I watched a film that changed my life. No, not that one. This one was by a filmmaker from the American South named Ross McElwee. He was a filmmaker, he was a film teacher in the South, and he had applied to the government to get a government grant to make a historical documentary about General William Tecumseh Sherman's march through the South during the American Civil War. his grant was granted. He got the money. He bought film stock. He bought audio tape. At that time, this was not on video. He was making a film, a large 16 millimeter film camera that was set on your shoulder, heavy, and with a strap like this was a reel-to-reel audio tape recorder, and you held a microphone and the camera focusing, hitting sticks because you had to, sync the sound, everything. Anyway, he's got all this equipment, all this film, tape, ready to go. His girlfriend breaks up with him. He's shocked, he becomes despondent, and all this film laying around and the camera, he starts just filming his life. He's filming himself sweeping up his studio. He's filming himself going out to dinner. He's filming himself going to bed and telling the camera about his great insecurity about not starting the documentary on Sherman's march through the South and wasting the film. He goes to visit his parents in the South, filming the whole time. In 1985 or whenever he shot it, 83, 84, that was kind of crazy to come into your family's home with a big camera, big sound equipment, and say, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. What? Turn this off. Are you insane?" He ended up making it a film called Sherman's March, and it was received magnificently well. It was a fine art film. It showed in art houses. It showed on PBS. He was celebrated around the world for this stroke of genius. Make a film, but it's just about the simple things that happen in your life. Nothing particularly fancy. Just turn on the camera and shoot it. And I watched that, and I was transfixed because I'd watched early documentaries, and the injection of the filmmaker into the documentaries of the 70s, the 80s, where it wasn't enough just to make a documentary about a series of events. The filmmaker, him or herself, would make sure that, like, I'm making this film and I'm doing the voiceover, and this is my view of what's happening here. So Sherman's March was a life-changing movie for me, because as soon I didn't know how to cut film. You had to go to film school back then. You don't have to go to film school now, but back then you would have to go to film school to learn how to cut, how to use a flatbed and cut the sound and everything. I couldn't do any of that, so I was basically waiting for the camcorders to get smaller and smaller and smaller until you could hold it in your hand, and then small enough where, yes, you could flip it around and shoot selfies like this, and walk and talk. It was a revelation. And yes, I got a camcorder and I started shooting. I shot backstage stand-up comedy.
Why do you have to document everything?
I shot on-stage stand-up comedy.
Tom Wilson.
Here I go. Everything's going great in California, isn't it, everybody?
I shot myself writing a show at home, the preparations for that.
I don't know if it comes through on video, but I have an essence that most people who know me describe as a choir boy freshness.
I shot all sorts of things.
The middle of absolute nowhere.
And I found very quickly that no, I was still out of luck, because you needed giant video editing decks that were big, expensive, and you had to know how to use them. So you really needed a degree in video production in order to do 2 or 3 tape decks editing. And I realized I can't do that. There's no way. So I went around to various companies, producers, thinking, well, this is interesting. I'm making interesting content. I mean, they're interested backstage during the stand-up comedy boom, all that stuff. Nobody was interested. Nobody. Zero. So like a lot of people from that era, all those tapes just gathered dust. And most of them have crumbled, the magnetizing, there's no picture on there, unfortunately. So I had to just wait years for 2 things to happen: iMovie and this site that you're watching this on right now. I don't know where, oh, I'm at Chapman University, where my daughter went to college. Fine, fine school, graphic design school, excellent. Film school, apparently excellent, very good reputation. You don't need film school. Just get one of these doohickeys and just start shooting. Just make it. So I had to wait. So I started shooting what were not called vlogs in the beginning, but I'm not going through Chapman. A lot of kids over there. I'll go back to the circle. So they call them vlogs. I call them personal film. I still call them personal films because that's what Ross McElwee called his films. They are. They're films. They're personal. So he called them personal films. And I still run into, the Hollywood guys. Oh, the Hollywood filmmaker. Oh, and he's got the right leather jacket, doesn't he? He's got the right motorcycle boots. He's got the right attitude. Talking about filmmaking, the work he's done, the projects he's working on. Oh, really? Have I seen any of your projects? I made Hooker Death Squad. We did that in Borneo 2 years ago. But oh wow, Hooker, that's quite a filmmaker. Yeah. You want to see the trailer for Die Cop Die? It's a trailer. Look, I was a second assistant camera on the, look. Oh, that blood bag just splattered all over the walls. You see it? Great. What a great, brilliant filmmaker you are. So I can call them personal films. I don't have to be disrespected. Nor does any quote-unquote vlogger. Yeah, then it started. Boy, all the vloggers. I see you out there. Not the. I understand, but a lot of shield guys. A lot of like this is brought to you by whatever, and make sure you do the thing where you send me money and make do this. No, I mean the people shooting their life and putting it out there, like that young punk rock kid living in a van, Adam, who started making vlogs of his life. They weren't fancy. They weren't fancy at all. They were simple. He could go to Zermatt in Switzerland and show you the Matterhorn, or North Korea, or Abbey Road where the Beatles crossed, where Paul was barefoot. Maybe he's dead, I don't know. But he could also just walk across an abandoned parking lot in Akron, Ohio. And he'd put it up. He had the guts to put it up and say, this is simple. This is my life, but it's real. It's authentic. This is what I did today. Here it is. So Adam the Woo became a thing. And he was a big Back to the Future fan. And he'd become so popular that people start coming up to me and say, that guy Adam the Woo, the big YouTube guy. Yeah, he's a big Back to the Future fan. In fact, he's been in a photo op with you and Chris. And I didn't know the guy. I wasn't familiar with his work. So finally I meet him and I say what I thought, which was, we should, have lunch sometime, hang out, be fun to pick your brain. He was like, what? So we did. We went to Bob's Big Boy restaurant on Burbank Boulevard, Burbank, California, with a big plastic bob with the whole thing outside. And I sit down and I'm telling him all my theories, the documentaries of the late 70s. I tell him, first thing I do, I sit down. Have you seen Sherman's March? He just doesn't know what? So I'm talking about him being a filmmaker and him making honest work and like the films he did in the Midwest of the United States, where he's in a tiny, simple town. Most people have moved out of there. Most people have no interest in this town. And he would just set up the camera at some intersection and just let the shot play, as they say, just let it play. A very simple shack over there and some railroad tracks. And then after a while, An old rusted Toyota Camry just runs through the shot and he just lets it play. And he's saying, this is America, here, today. And I said, I think that's some of the best filmmaking that anyone is doing today. That is sociology, it's history. American sociologists owe you a debt of gratitude. He was kind of like, well, he didn't know what to say. But I think it began, our relationship, our friendship, as a real mutual respect, and it was real. I wasn't giving a little thrill to some fan kid. I was meeting a filmmaker that I respect. We became great friends when he really began to be more famous than me. Because I was laughing about it, he was uncomfortable about it, but it was happening. It was happening. Everywhere we went. If we came down here to the Orange Circle, sat on one of those benches, there were people around, and they did not have DeLoreans for me to sign. They wanted to talk to Adam. He was the man. It's amazing. But he was fantastic. He was a fantastic friend. And I would tease him. I would tease him for many things, you know, because like an older brother, I would tease him. I would tease his Back to the Future tattoos. Because let's face it, Doc Brown on Adam's tattoo looked like Darren McGavin. It did. It did. And then as he got older, I think it sort of Ben Gazzara was there, you know? I mean, Marty McFly on Adam's calf, I thought it looked like Judd Nelson. But then, you know, and then as he grew older, I thought it looked like Corey Feldman. It turns out Adam just had a rash on his leg. But I used to bother him with that. I used to tease him about how famous he was getting and how uncomfortable he was with it. And I used to tell him about I have copied my fame after Jay Leno, because I knew Jay a long time ago. And Jay is a great famous guy. He's a great famous guy. Why is Jay a great famous guy? Why is Jay Leno great at being famous? Because he moves through places and he gives you eye contact and he says, yeah, how's it going? Oh yeah, good to see you. Absolutely. Well, it's good. Yeah, I like that dress, whatever it is. And then he moves on to the next person. It's like a moving thing with graciousness toward people and kindness. So I said, Adam, you don't have to go to their house with them. You don't have to stand there for 20 minutes and recount going down the slide on your bike. You don't have to do any of that. Just look at them in the eye and say, well, that's great. It's very nice of you. That's nice of you to say. Thanks a lot. And just move on very kindly. And just like Jay Leno, they'll go home and they'll go, what a nice guy. He was very nice, wasn't he? So he did it. He did it. So what about you? Oh, yeah, the vloggers, not the vlog. The vloggers, hey, fantastic guys and girls, fantastic. You know what I love about contemporary vlogging? It's people who are taking life both less seriously and more seriously, both at the same time. Think about it. Tom's deep thoughts, right? Tom's deep thoughts. But I think that's true. So not vloggers. I'm talking to just you watching this. You, the woo. That's right. When Adam was first thinking of doing anything publicly, he got a stamp pad. He got a stamp pad where they had those tiny, tiny letters. My brother had one of these. It was a real thing. It had tiny letters, and you took tweezers, and you could make your own address backwards to make a stamp out of it. So he got this, and he's thinking, Adam, the wonderful, how do you spell out wonderful? Adam, the fantastic. And it was just the two O's were there, the W. Adam, the woo, and it's just, that's it. Adam, the woo. he had the guts, the confidence to just put the stamp out, say, yeah, I'm Adam the Woo. And that was it. And when I'm saying you the woo, in your house there, watching me on your phone, on your computer, your life is worthwhile. You are a miracle. Your life, if you don't have to share it on, here, look at this bench. This is Adam's bench that we used to sit on. Let me show you. Can you see it? Wait a minute. Okay, I got it now. All right, I'm celebrating Adam the Woo. Rest in peace at ATW. All right, this is going to blow out in the sun. Sorry about this, but we'll just do it this way. But my point is to you. Am I doing this right? My point is to you. Your life is worthwhile. The greatest work of art you could ever accomplish is to come home to your friend, your roommate, your wife, husband, your children, any loved ones at all, a friend, and just tell them the story of your day. Tell them the story of finding the parking space. Tell them the story of the meeting that you were 8 minutes late for and they should have forgot about it because that guy was late yesterday, but they gave me a hard time. All of the stories are works of art. Tell them confidently as the woo. You don't have to record it like this goofball. You don't have to put it out there for anyone. I just put them out there to tell a couple stories and to tell you that you're a miracle in this world. And you can tell your stories in any way you like, or you don't have to. Just standing there in an abandoned parking lot in the middle of Akron, Ohio, your life has worth. When Adam went, I thought of making some tribute to him, and it's been slow because it's hard. I didn't know what to say. I still kind of don't, obviously. But I thought of a short poem by John Dryden. Happy the man, and happy he alone. He who can call today his own. He who, secure within, can say, tomorrow do thy worst, for I have lived today. Adam lived every single day like it mattered. It mattered so much that he taped it for us and put it on the interwebs. God bless my friend Adam Williams. God bless Adam the Woo. And God bless you, the Woo.